Hey guys, Jaren here, and I'm here for the stat calculation changes explanation. So, general idea of what I did was for lower levels or new players, stats to be not so low, and for the higher levels, older players, stats to go not so high. So basically, you want the stats to be in the middle. Um, and here's there's not much changes really, but some may be quite affected by a lot. Um, well, we can talk about this one by one. Right, first strength, it affects physical attack power. It still does, but now every stat point you put on strength gives more than it used to. So if before you put strength and you get about two physical attack or three. Now you can get around four or five, depending on your level. And same goes for int. It affects magical attack power. One changes on an int is it doesn't affect magical crit anymore. Now wisdom is the only one that affects magical crit, but it it does affect more than it used to. So if you get around 20 whiz and you get one crit rate before, now maybe you only need 15 or 18, something like that, depending on your level. Um, so yeah, whiz affects magical defense more than it used to. Dex affects accuracy, evasion, and crit rates. So now it affects hit and evasion more. So dexterity isn't much of a trash stat anymore because before, if you get or even 30 dexterity in your philosopher's stone, it usually wasn't doesn't do much. Now it's a good stat basically. And vitality affects defense. It affects defense more. It gives the same amount of HP and HP recovery um, with the way it used to. And it still affects the stun duration, debuffs duration. Wisdom still affects the damage you get from damage over time skills, such as poison or burns. And there. So physical attack and magical attack. So these stats are have large changes on them. Same with magical defense and physical defense. Because now the bonus you get for having high enchant weapons or armors doesn't give much the way it used to. Um, what does that mean? It means that having low enchantment or higher enchantment doesn't have that much of a gap the way it used to. But the bonus you get from enchantments, for example, this one, you get a bonus of 349 magical attack power for having it plus 14. It's still the same. I have a screenshot of the old enchantment bonus of a plus 15 legendary infinity staff. It gives 418 magical attack power. So if you can check that out of it, it's still the same. Yeah, it still gives the same 418 of magical attack power. One more change about this is that the basic stat magical attack power from Stone gives much more. So these highly concentrated Moonstone. Let's try this one. Right. So before, if you see these plus 18.7, it means directly plus 18. Let's say it's plus 19. So if we add this up over here, plus 19 should get around 37, 6237. But now, wait, let's try to move these. Yeah, 6121. So it should give around 6140, but actually it gives way much more. We were expecting 6140, but it gives 62115, which is a really good amount of attack power for low levels. So these items can give low levels great um, basic stat, um, even without really good items yet. Should help them with leveling. And same goes for his physical attack, physical defense, magic defense. So these stats right here. So you should see a magical defense plus 15, plus 10. I mean, it doesn't mean magical defense plus 10 means much more. Depending on how much your magical attack is, your magic defense is, or your percent stats you have on these. Also, crit chance, physical crit chance, and magic crit chance now scales down per level, so it goes down around 0.05% per level, which means you lose around 1% every 20 levels, which is not a lot, but it should still give the game a challenge into getting these decent stats, get decent stats amount of these. Accuracy and evasion, like I said, dexterity affects them way much more. Attack speed and cast speed, no changes with these, as well as movement speed. These still are capped at 75% reduction for passives, and no restriction or cap for buffs. So what else? Oh yeah, percent reduction, physical attack, magical attack, physical defense, and magic defense are basically have reduction the more you stack on them. Like for every point for every 1% you lose around 0.03% of it um, effectiveness of 0.03%. So for every 10% you lose around 0.3%. For every 100% you lose around 3%, which should be enough to scale down as you stack on more and more um, percent stats on those. So to get decent amount of these stats, you can either get more strength, more fit, more int, or stack on percent stats such as these, or stack on basic stats such as this magical attack power. So you can get any of those and still get decent amount. You don't just need percent to get good amount, but of course, having of percent stats of those is still better than the others. But the other stats now are more useful, especially for lower levels, and are still useful at higher levels. I hope this explains the stat calculations. Um, I'll be updating the server soon, so these maps which I am on right now should be available for you guys pretty soon. I hope you guys like the changes. It's still under testing, but for so far, it's good as I tested it and so on. Alright, I hope you guys like this. If you guys like it, hit that like button and subscribe button. I'll be continuing to make more of these videos soon. And that's it. Have a great day, guys. See you guys in game.